Every love story written by Allah begins with a heartbreak you never saw coming. He will let the one you begged for walk away just so he can bring the one your soul was created for. Because before the promise, there is always pain, a pain that polishes the heart until it can hold a love that leads you closer to Jannah. Tell me, my beloved brothers and sisters, what time is it where you are watching from? Maybe this very moment is the one Allah chose to whisper to your heart. Your pain is not a punishment, it's the doorway to your divine promise. Chapter 1. The Breaking Point. Before Allah gifts you with true love, He often lets your heart crack in silence. You sit alone at night, staring at old messages, wondering how something so beautiful could end so painfully. You replay moments in your head, the promises, the laughter, the dreams that never became reality. And it hurts. It hurts so deeply that you start to believe you'll never heal again. But my dear soul, do you know why Allah allows that heartbreak? Because He knows that sometimes it's the only way to make you return to Him. Love can become an idol when you forget who gave it. So He removes the person you were clinging to, not out of cruelty, but out of mercy. When you cry in sujood, when you whisper His name with trembling lips, when you finally realize no one can fill the emptiness inside you except Allah, that's when your heart starts to shift from people to purpose. The breaking point isn't the end of your story. It's the moment Allah begins rewriting it with Himself at the center. Because before you can experience a love that leads you to Jannah, you must first experience a heartbreak that leads you back to Him. And maybe this pain is not the end, it's the beginning of your promise. Chapter 2. The Cleansing. After the breaking comes the washing. You think the tears are useless, but every drop that falls from your eyes is washing something that was never meant to stay. Allah is cleansing you in ways you don't yet see. He takes away the conversations that distracted you from Him, the faces that made you forget His light, the memories that chained your heart to a door He already closed. At first, you'll fight it. You'll scroll through old photos, hoping pain turns back into peace. You'll whisper their name in duha, even when you know they're not written in your destiny. And still, Allah remains silent. Because silence is His way of saying, "Let go, my servant. I'm cleaning the space where your true blessing will live." Sometimes, He doesn't answer because He's disinfecting the wound before He seals it. If He gave you your next chapter while your soul still bled from the last, you would stain the new pages with old pain. So He delays, and in the delay, He detoxes you from attachment, expectation, obsession, and illusion. One by one, He removes the anchors that kept you stuck to people. He makes you taste loneliness so you'll hunger for His presence. He empties your heart completely so when the right love arrives, it has room to stay. This is why the cleansing feels so lonely. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's Allah teaching you that love without purification becomes possession. He wants your love to be pure enough to give, strong enough to forgive, and faithful enough to surrender. So every night you cry, every prayer whispered through shaking breath, every moment you delete and re-download your patience. Remember, angels are recording the cleansing. One day you'll look back and realize the tears weren't breaking you, they were baptizing you in mercy. And you'll thank Allah for the heartbreak you once begged Him to undo. Because that cleansing didn't just wash away a person. It washed away everything that kept you from becoming the person Allah destined you to be. Chapter 3. The Test of Time. There comes a phase after the heartbreak when everything goes quiet. No messages, no signs, no sudden miracles. Just silence. You wake up, pray, cry, work, and wait, yet nothing seems to move. It's as if your duas have disappeared into the sky, unanswered. But that silence you hate so much, that's where the real transformation begins. Because love that is meant to last forever cannot be rushed. The test of time is the place where Allah watches who you become when the world stops applauding. When your heart aches, but you choose patience. When you're tempted, but you choose purity. When you're lonely, but you choose sabr instead of sin. That's when Allah smiles at your growth. Sometimes, the reason He hasn't sent your soulmate yet is because your soul still trembles between healing and habit. And Allah, in His mercy, doesn't want you to meet your person when you're still bleeding. He wants you to meet them when you're glowing. You see, waiting isn't wasted time. Waiting is spiritual training. Allah doesn't use delays to deny you. He uses them to define you. Every silent night you endure, every Ramadan you spend praying for that one person who never came, every heartbreak you survive without turning away from him, all of that becomes proof of faith. Your patience is being written in the unseen, and angels are recording how you stayed faithful even when your hands were empty. Because Allah is not just preparing your spouse, He's preparing your soul. Maybe the one you're waiting for is also waiting for you. Maybe they're learning, crying, healing, asking Allah the same question you whisper every night. Ya Allah, when? But what if the right question was never when, and always who you're becoming while you wait? The test of time isn't a punishment, it's a polishing. It scrapes away impatience. It burns away desperation. It replaces neediness with nur light. So when that moment finally comes, when eyes meet under the light of Nikah, and peace settles like dawn, you'll realize that every second of waiting had purpose. You weren't waiting for love. You were waiting for Allah to say, "Now, my servant, now you're ready for what I wrote." Because when Allah writes the timing, the wait doesn't break you. It builds you. Chapter 4, The Whisper of Hope. After the breaking, and after the waiting, comes something softer. It doesn't arrive with noise. It doesn't come through a text, or a new person, or a grand miracle. It comes quietly like dawn after a long, cold night. One morning, you wake up, and the ache inside your chest feels lighter. The tears that once burned your pillow now dry before they fall. You start noticing little signs not from people, but from Allah. The Quran verse that matches your pain. The random post that feels like an answer. The sudden peace in your heart that makes no sense. That is the whisper of hope. Allah doesn't always send relief in loud ways. Sometimes He heals you through silence, through calmness, through the slow return of faith you thought you lost. You'll catch yourself smiling again, not because someone messaged you, but because you finally feel Allah's presence more than their absence. You'll realize that your du'as weren't ignored, they were simply being shaped. The heart that once begged for a person now finds comfort in sujood. The eyes that once searched the crowd now search for fajr. The lips that once whispered names now whisper, Ya Allah. That is the most beautiful transformation when love turns vertical before it turns horizontal. Allah is whispering, you're healing now. You may not have what you want, but you're becoming who you were meant to be. You may not see the full story, but you trust the author again. And that trust itself is the miracle. Because when Allah rebuilds a broken heart, He doesn't restore it to what it was. He upgrades it to what it was meant to be. The pain you thought was punishment was polishing. The silence you thought was abandonment was alignment. The delay you thought was denial was direction. This is where peace starts to bloom again. Not through getting everything you asked for, but through understanding why you didn't. The whisper of hope isn't Allah saying, Here's what you wanted. It's Allah saying, now you're ready to receive what I planned. So when that calm begins to settle inside you, don't rush it. Don't question it. Sit in it. Breathe in it. That's the scent of divine mercy. The moment Allah smiles at your patience and says, see, I told you I was with you all along. Because even in heartbreak, He never left you. You just had to quiet your pain enough to hear His whisper. Chapter 5. The Mirror of Faith. There's a moment in every believer's journey when Allah stops showing you others and starts showing you yourself. After the heartbreak fades, after the silence settles, after the whispers of hope begin to calm your chest, Allah turns the mirror toward you. Because before He sends you the person written for you, He wants you to recognize the person inside you. You start to see it now, the patterns, the mistakes, the red flags you ignored, the signs you prayed to change but didn't. You begin to realize that love didn't fail, you just didn't know yourself yet. Allah teaches through reflection. He allows you to look at your old self with eyes full of mercy, not regret. You see how you loved too quickly, how you placed creation above the Creator, how you gave too much to someone who gave too little to Him. And that's when you understand the wisdom behind every heartbreak. It was never about losing someone, it was about finding yourself. Because sometimes the reason you keep meeting the wrong people is that Allah is trying to fix the person you bring into every relationship you. The mirror of faith doesn't flatter, it purifies. It shows you every scar that pride tried to hide, every wound that patience tried to pretend wasn't bleeding. But it also shows you beauty, the beauty of survival, of repentance, of resilience. You begin to forgive yourself not because you forgot the pain, but because you finally see how Allah used it to shape your heart. The woman who once chased attention now chases peace. The man who once begged for love now begs for guidance. You realize Allah wasn't delaying your soulmate, He was developing your soul. He wasn't hiding your person from you, He was hiding you from yourself until you were ready to meet who you truly are. Because what good is it to meet your soulmate if you haven't yet met your soul? The mirror of faith teaches you that you can't love someone purely until you love Allah sincerely. That you can't build a home with someone until you've built a home inside your heart for Him. You begin to pray differently now. No longer, Ya Allah, give me someone to love. But, Ya Allah, make me someone worthy of love. And in that dua lies a transformation. You realize that love is not just about holding hands, it's about holding intentions. It's not just about finding the right person, it's about becoming the right soul. This is when you stop searching and start surrendering. You stop chasing people and start chasing peace. You stop saying, when will they come? And start saying, when will I become what Allah loves? Because every mirror you stand before in this dunya will eventually fade. But the reflection of who you are in Allah's eyes is eternal. So He keeps showing you your flaws, not to shame you, but to shape you. He lets you see your weakness so that your future love will be built on humility, not ego. He lets you see your impatience so that your future marriage will be built on sabr, not pride. He lets you see your emotional wounds so you can build a love that heals instead of harms. The mirror of faith doesn't lie, it liberates. And one day, when you finally meet the person Allah wrote for you, you won't see them as a missing piece. You'll see them as a reflection of who you became through every prayer, every tear, every night you looked in that mirror and whispered, Ya Allah, make me better. Because true love isn't two souls completing each other. It's two complete souls purified by faith, reflecting Allah's mercy through one another. Chapter 6. the divine setup. When Allah writes a love story, He doesn't rush it, He orchestrates it. You see, while you were crying on your prayer mat, asking, why, someone else somewhere was whispering the same question, not realizing that your tears and theirs were rising to the same sky. Allah was listening to both of you, and in the unseen, He was weaving your stories together quietly, perfectly, mercifully. He was aligning your heartbreaks, your healing, your timing, your lessons like pieces of a divine puzzle. Because true love isn't random, it's written. Every delay, every closed door, every unanswered message, every person who left, they were all threads being moved aside so the right thread could tie the knot Allah intended for you. That's the divine setup. Allah's plans are silent because His wisdom is loud. You think you're just living ordinary days, but behind every delay is a divine detail. The day you missed that bus, the job you didn't get, the friend who suddenly drifted, all of it was part of the alignment. Sometimes, Allah will take you miles apart from the person written for you, just so you can both grow strong enough to recognize each other when you finally meet. He'll let your hearts mature in different seasons, so when your paths cross, it's not infatuation, it's recognition. Recognition of a soul you somehow already know, not because you met them before, but because both your souls were trained by the same teacher. He was preparing both of you through tests, heartbreaks, losses, and du'as you didn't understand. You see, Allah doesn't just create soulmates, He crafts soul missions. Two hearts that will worship Him together, serve His cause together, and become reflections of His mercy for each other. That's why sometimes Allah hides your person until you've healed enough not to worship them. Because He doesn't want you to find comfort in creation until you've found it in the Creator. The divine setup often feels like abandonment because you can't yet see what He's building. But remember this, Allah doesn't let two hearts meet until both hearts remember Him. Maybe your person right now is also going through their own breaking point, crying through the same verses, whispering the same name, Allah. And the angels are smiling because they know one day those two souls will find each other in the most unexpected, most beautiful, most halal way. It won't be through chasing. It won't be through chaos. It'll be through calmness. Because when Allah arranges a meeting, it comes with peace, not pressure. You'll look back at every delay and whisper, "Now I understand. He was never late, I was just not ready." Allah had to fix what was broken, heal what was wounded, and polish what was hidden before revealing the person He wrote beside your name. And when it finally happens, when paths cross and hearts align, and the impossible becomes effortless, you'll know it wasn't luck. It was the setup of the most merciful. You'll realize that Allah never forgot your dua. He just built your destiny around it. Every "not yet" was a whisper of "just wait." Every "no" was protecting your "yes." Every tear you cried was watering the seed of a love that would bloom in His perfect season. Because Allah doesn't make you wait to waste your time. He makes you wait to perfect your timing. And when it all unfolds, it won't just feel right. It will feel divinely written. Because it was never coincidence. It was qadr. The kind of qadr that makes you fall in love, not just with a person, but with the one who planned it all. Chapter 7. The Arrival. Every test has a sunrise. After years of asking why, after nights when dujas tasted like tears, you begin to feel something new, peace that no longer needs explanations. And then Allah lets the story turn. It doesn't happen with fireworks. It begins with a glance you almost miss, a conversation that feels strangely familiar, a calm that settles in your chest before you even know their name. There's no racing heartbeat this time, no confusion, no fear of losing. There's only recognition, like a soul remembering another soul it once prayed for. You realize that Allah never wanted to give you butterflies. He wanted to give you balance. The arrival is not the moment your loneliness ends, it's the moment your purpose expands. Because true love doesn't complete you, it joins you. Two souls walking side by side toward the same Qibla. You see, when love is from Allah, it carries His signature, Sakina, tranquility. The world could be falling apart, yet your heart feels anchored. You don't chase or question, you simply recognize. Every test that once broke you now feels like a bridge leading here. Every no you cried over now glows with gratitude. You remember the nights you begged Allah to remove the pain and realize He didn't remove it. He transformed it into peace. You finally understand why He delayed everything. Because He wanted this love to be born from your healing, not your hunger. This person doesn't pull you away from Salah, they remind you of it. They don't make you forget Allah, they make you miss Him more deeply. Their presence feels like a continuation of your duhas, not a distraction from them. And that's how you know it's from Him. The arrival teaches you that love written by Allah doesn't rush. It arrives exactly when both souls can handle the weight of mercy. It doesn't demand perfection. It demands sincerity. It's not about two people finding each other. It's about two souls meeting at the intersection of patience and faith. You no longer ask, why did they leave? Because you finally see who came. The one who respects your silence, guards your dignity, and leads you closer to Jannah. The one whose eyes remind you that Allah heard every broken prayer. The arrival isn't just romance, it's redemption. It's every wound rewritten into wisdom. It's every lonely night answered in a single Qabulna. And when you stand before Allah one day, hand in hand with the soul He chose for you, you'll realize every tear, every wait, every not yet was necessary. Because true love isn't found in the meeting, it's found in the becoming. This is what it feels like when pain becomes promise. Chapter 8, The Promise Fulfilled. Every test that once broke you was a verse in this chapter. When the pain finally meets its purpose, you don't celebrate loudly, you exhale. The same heart that once trembled in loss now trembles in shukr. Because you realize Allah never said no. He said, not yet, your heart isn't ready to hold what I'm sending. And now, standing here, you feel it, His mercy unfolding. The duhas you whispered through tears have ripened into reality. You didn't chase this love, it found you in sujud. You didn't fall into it, you grew into it. The promise fulfilled isn't about finally getting what you wanted, it's about understanding why Allah made you wait. Every heartbreak polished your sincerity. Every delay deepened your dua. Every lonely night rewired your soul to recognize peace when it arrived. Love written by Allah doesn't enter your life to entertain you, it enters to elevate you. It teaches you that the most beautiful yes from Allah often comes wrapped in years of silence. Now, when you look at the one beside you, the soul that mirrors your patience, you don't just see a person, you see an answered prayer. You see the mercy that once broke you, now holding you. You see proof that Allah was listening the entire time. Together, you pray. Together, you smile through storms. Together, you build a home where Allah is mentioned before each other's names. That is love in its purest form, when marriage becomes a place of worship, not escape. And even if tomorrow brings hardship, and you now know, promises from Allah don't end in pain, they pass through pain. because the same Lord who broke your heart to rebuild it will protect what he joined for his sake. The promise fulfilled is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new kind of love, the kind that points both hearts toward the Eternal One. You'll still face tests, tears and trials, but now you'll face them together, knowing who authored your bond. So tonight, when you thank Allah for what He's written, remember the nights you thought He was silent. He wasn't silent, He was scripting. Every sigh was a sentence. Every tear was an ink drop. Every act of patience was a paragraph. Until finally, He said, "Now." And in that single word, lifetimes of waiting became worth it. Because when Allah fulfills a promise, He gives you more than what you asked for. He gives you what your soul was created for. My beloved brothers and sisters, if your heart is still aching, if your eyes still search the night for answers, know this: Allah hasn't forgotten you. He saw every tear that fell in sujood. He heard every Ya Allah, why? And He turned those cries into bricks of patience that now build the home of your future peace. The heartbreak you thought destroyed you was the hammer that shaped you. The silence you hated was the space where Allah whispered, "I am enough for you." So hold on a little longer. The promise isn't lost, it's simply unfolding. Because the same Lord who tested you with pain will surprise you with purpose. And when that moment comes when you finally understand why every delay had meaning, you'll smile through tears and say, "Subhanallah, the wait was worth it." Until that day, love Him more than what you're waiting for. Seek Him before you seek anyone else. And remember, hearts that kneel before Allah never break for long. Ya Allah, heal every broken heart listening to this. Replace their pain with peace, their loneliness with your company, and their tears with gratitude. Write for them a love that brings them closer to you, not further away. Make their nikah a reflection of mercy, not misery. Forgive our impatience, polish our intentions, and let our waiting be an act of worship. Ameen, Ya Rab al-Alameen.